Hello and welcome to another VBA tutorial. So yes, I've been lacking a little bit when it comes to the VBA tutorials. I was kind of focused more on the Python stuff for a little bit, but I want to make sure that people who are coming to the channel for VBA are getting their fair share of videos. So the next couple videos are going to be strictly VBA. The first one we're going to be talking about how to work with paragraphs inside of Word VBA. So we're going to just see how we can manipulate these objects, how we can format them and all that kind of fun stuff. And then in the next one, we're going to talk about how we can work with text boxes and text ranges that belong to a PowerPoint slide. And then in the final one, we're going to talk about how we can work a little bit more in depth with Power Pivot. So it's continuing that series, but that's probably going to be the last video on that topic just because I think it's going to put people in a good spot. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to obviously, this video is just about the word paragraph one. As you can tell, I do have a paragraph right here. It's on some quantum computing stuff, nothing very interesting. But we're going to see how we can manipulate this paragraph and do some formatting. And as a note, I don't know if you guys realize, maybe it's just an insider thing because I am an Office insider. So we kind of get updates before everybody else. But I'm kind of curious if people are getting the new icon. So as you can tell, Word has a new icon. In fact, if you actually, if I go to my desktop, yeah, see? They have new icons now. So they've released them. They're neat. I mean, they're cool looking. It's kind of sad though. Access didn't get one and neither did Publisher. So I don't know what that's saying about those applications. It doesn't sound like those are a priority. But I thought that was kind of neat. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so first thing you want to obviously do, if you haven't already, make sure to insert a module. And then from here, we're going to create a new subroutine. We're going to say edit paragraph. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to declare some variables. The first one is going to be called word paragraph. This will be a paragraph object. So again, as a reminder, the hierarchy that we need to understand that is kind of playing behind the scenes is we have a document. Inside that document, you can have sections. Inside those sections, you can have paragraphs. And then, I mean, technically you can go a little bit more lower than that or you can go higher than that. But really, it's a paragraph. Your paragraph is made up of sentences. And then your sentences are made up of words. And then your words are made up of characters. So that's kind of how I like to think about the hierarchy. And usually for me, that kind of helps me visualize, what kind of level I need to go to in order to interact with each particular object. But at this one, we're going to work with kind of a higher level one. We're going to work with a paragraph object. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we'll just declare another one. Technically, this isn't really needed, but we'll just specify the active document. So the first thing we're going to do is get the active document and then the first paragraph. Very simple at this point. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set that active DOM equal to the active document. And then we're going to set that word paragraph equal to the active DOM. And then we're going to go into the paragraphs collection. We're going to use the index method in order to select our paragraph. It is the first paragraph in our whole document. So if I go back here, that's simply the first one. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to snap this over here just so that way you guys are seeing the changes that we're making. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to just align our paragraph. So we're going to set the alignment. It's very straightforward. We're just going to go into our word paragraph object. And then we're going to go to the alignment property. And then we get an option of all these different alignments that we want. Now, I like to do kind of the justify, but you can do distribute, you can do center, you can do left, right. I'll do justify medium. And so what this does is it justifies it, but then it also kind of gives it some spacing as well in between each line. So I kind of like it. I think it looks nice. So we'll run it. As you can tell, it kind of moved it around, added some space in there. Just again, for demonstration purposes, we could always put it to something else. We'll say, hey, make it center, right? And then if I run this one, now it's centered. But personally, I like justified. So we'll just leave it justified. Okay, so we set the alignment. Let's add a border around our particular paragraph. So we'll add a add a border around our paragraph. And then what we'll do here is we'll go into our word paragraph object, and then we'll go to the borders collection, and then we'll do some things. So we'll add a shadow border, and then we'll set this equal to true. And if we run this, we now have a border that kind of goes around, or at least our paragraph has a shadow behind it, and so it kind of gives the impersonation of a particular border. And then if we want, we can always change some formatting about it. So we can go into, again, the borders collection. We can say the outline style, and so, or outside line style. And then we can specify how we want that to appear. So we can say, hey, we want it to be, you know, a dash dotted one, right? And so let me move this over here a little bit. And then if we run this one, we can tell that it changed the border of our paragraph. And then if we wanted to, we can also go into our borders collection. We can go to the outside color, and then we can choose a color that we want it to be. So maybe you want it to be something very, you know, maybe red, for example. Now it's kind of hard to see that. We'll do something different. Teal? Is that going to be a little bit brighter? That's not even close to brighter. We'll do blue. Blue should kind of pop a little bit. Okay, that kind of pops. Hopefully you can see that, but it is blue. But that's how you would change the color of it. Now, there's also some things we can add to it. So we can add a drop cap to our paragraph. And so that just means the first character in our paragraph will be a lot larger in relationship to the rest of the paragraph. And so what we'll do is, again, go into our word paragraph, we'll go to drop cap, and then we'll call the enable method. And then that adds drop cap. If you wanted to, and so you put it in there, you're like, wait a minute, I don't want to keep it there. That just doesn't look right. Then what you can do is you can do clear. And clear will obviously clear it out. So now you don't have it anymore. I'll leave it on. I think it looks neat. So we'll add a drop cap. And then from here, we can also do some line spacing. So we'll add line spacing. So that means in between each individual line in our paragraph, it will kind of make it just a little bit distant from each other. And so we'll go to line spacing, and we'll put it to something like 20. So this is in points. And I guess it kind of looks weird if we have that drop cap there. Maybe we'll just take that off. But yeah, now you can see that there's definitely some more spacing in between. If you want a predefined one, so like a predefined spacing that Word has, you can do that as well. But it's going to be a little bit different. So you're going to go to word paragraph, and then it's line spacing rule. And then from here, you get some options as to, these are predefined ones. So you want it double space, 1.5 point, exactly, multiple. So if I did like, 1.5, it should change it a little bit. So yeah, just a little bit. I'll leave on the 21 just to add in and make it a little bit more noticeable. Okay, so now that we've done that, we've seen how we can add some spacing to our particular paragraph object. Let's kind of go down to another level. So we obviously can tell our paragraph is made up of words. Maybe we want to know the number of words that exist in our particular paragraph. So what would that look like? So if we want to count the number of words in our paragraph, and so we'll go to debug.print. We will go to the word paragraph object. We will go to the range object, or range property, I guess, and then the words collection, and then we can call the count property. And so this will tell me how many words are in here. So there's 111. So if you count in here, there will apparently be 111 words or something like that. It's kind of interesting because that is a little bit discrepancy down here than what I'm seeing. So I don't know how this is necessarily counting it differently, but just kind of keep in mind, it looks like you can have some discrepancies, maybe what you're seeing here, or maybe it's calculating each one of these characters as its own particular word. I'm not really sure how that's kind of being calculated differently, but if you want to do it, there you go. Okay. So now that we've done that, we've counted our words. What if we want to select the first and the last word of our particular paragraph? So we'll select the first and last word of our paragraph. I'm going to put this up a little bit. Okay. And so we'll go to the word paragraph. We'll go to range, we'll go to words, and then we will go to the first property, and then we will call the select method. So this will select the first word. So you can tell right here it has been selected. The alternative is I can select the last one. So if I go here and I say, hey, I want the last one, what would that look like? Well, it's selecting basically a space. So obviously there's a space here, it looks like. But you can do that as well. And then if you wanted to, you could also bold your paragraph. So if you want, you can go into the range property. You don't have to go to the words collection at this one. Here we're just talking about the paragraph range. And you can make the paragraph bold. And so if we run this, oh, sorry, has to equal true. So that we're saying, hey, make that paragraph range bold. So there you go. It has made it bold. And then we can also, if you wanted to, you can go to your range object. And then if you go there, then you can actually go to the characters collection. So these are all the individual characters in your particular paragraph. And again, say you wanted to select the first character for some reason. So we'll say select the first and last character. So this one should select the first character. So it selects that T. I'm kind of curious to see what the last one does. And then so J, last. And then, so again, kind of selects that last space, it looks like. So there's that. You can also change the casing of your paragraph if you want. So you can go into the word paragraph object. You can go to the range. You can call the case property and set that equal to word. There's different options, but you can say uppercase. So this will change it all to uppercase. So now it's all uppercase. Change paragraph to uppercase. Now there's also some other special ones in here if you want. You can, again, go there. And then I think it's the word title. Yeah, this one. So this one will capitalize each word. So if we are on this one, so as you can tell, each one of them is capitalized. So comes in handy for sure. There's obviously a couple that you can play around with if you wanted to. There's some other stuff that you could do. You can change the character width. So here we can set the character width, and then we'll go into the word paragraph. We'll go into the range. We'll go to the character width property, and then we'll do width, full width. It does make it a little bit weird, so I kind of advise people be careful. It changes the font and everything. So very interesting how it does that. I'll just put it to half width. It just puts it back to its normal one. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's just Calibre that does that, but honestly, it just looks weird. You can add some indentations to your paragraph. So add an indent. So you can go into the word paragraph. You can go left indent. You can, again, put it in points. And then maybe I want to do a right indent. There's a top and a bottom one as well. And again, say I want it to be 20. So now it's kind of pushing it all over and it's indenting it. You can add some shading to your paragraph. So this is kind of like a background. That's the way I like to think of it. So we'll say set the background color, and we'll do the word paragraph. We'll go into the shading property, and then we'll say background pattern color property, and then we'll choose what's a really bright color. We'll do gold. Never done gold. There you go. That looks kind of neat. I don't like it, but works. You can also change the reading order. So in some countries they read right to left. We read left to right. So you can change the reading order. So you can say reading order, and then you can say, I think by default it's left to right. You can say right to left. So now it's kind of going that direction. So kind of neat, definitely. And then if you want, for our final example, you can add some spacing. And so what we'll say is, hey, word paragraph, space before, there's a space after as well. And we'll do something dramatic like 40 points. So as you can tell, kind of shifted it down, and now it has this spacing, from the top of the page, basically. Now, keep in mind, it's not margin, it's the spacing. Okay. So with that being said, that was our last example. If you have any questions about how to work with a paragraph object in Word, please make sure to put them down in the comments below. Because I know sometimes it can be a little bit confusing at first to work with paragraphs. But, hopefully this was enough examples where it's like, okay, I feel at least somewhat comfortable, working with it and kind of finding my way around with it. I think, once you do it a couple times, it's not too bad. And then also, if you could, please make sure to like the video. We always appreciate the support. And then, if you're not already, please make sure to subscribe to the channel so that way you're getting regular updates. Today specifically, I'm going to be uploading like 3 videos. So there might be a couple notifications if you have the notifications turned on. But that's just kind of a weird day. I just had a couple already kind of, set up, and I wanted to kind of get them out there. So yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video where we're going to work with PowerPoint slides, and we're going to talk about how we can manipulate the text range. Thanks again.